Good afternoon and welcome to the ResOnline Training webinar. In this session we will cover all the important aspects you need to know in order to get the most benefit from the ResOnline Channel Manager system. This training webinar will run for approximately 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, so here we see our main home screen. This is a screen that you will be viewing every time you log into your ResOnline account. At the top there we have our daily management area. So from here you have your yearly deals calendar, your monthly deals calendar, and of course your reports section where you can view all reservations that drop into the system. We have our marketing tools, so the specials you can create, booking extras that guests can apply to their reservations, as well as promotion codes that can be offered to both guests and agents. And down the bottom we have our setup area of the account. So your property details, your rooms and your rates, distribution, and your booking form that can be placed on your website. Over on the right hand side we've got our daily booking statistics. So just showing you at a quick glance the number of bookings made today, the number of check-ins you have today, and the number of check-outs you can expect today as well. And then underneath that, of course, we have our support section. So you can click on those to view any support documents that may be available for the system, or you can view our video tutorials, which we have online as well. Now, at the very top, I do want to point this out because it is quite essential when you're looking at connecting up your ResOnline account to other channels. Just under where it says Auto Sign-On at the top there, we've got Welcome to the ResOnline Channel Manager. Your hotel ID is 32896 in this example. Okay, so if you were to log into your ResOnline account, that hotel ID would be different for each account. You may need this this ID, so it's important you know where you can see that. So every time you log into the ResOnline account, just keep in the back of your mind that your hotel ID is displayed on the very main page there. Alrighty, so we'll start at the very beginning, which would be setting up your property details. Now the property details area is where you enter all the information in relation to your property. Most of this first section will already be filled in with the information entered when signing up via the website. Your property name, accommodation type, star rating, email address, phone number, quantity of rooms, and ABN will all automatically appear in the screen for you. There are a few fields here that once set can only be amended by ResOnline support staff. These are your accommodation type, star rating, and rating type. The property management field is very important. This will tell the system where it should be finding its information. Should you have a property management system, be sure to select it from this drop-down list. And note that ResOnline staff establish and maintain the connections for RMS and EasyRes only. All other property management systems will need to establish the connection for you. If you do not have a property management system, please ensure this field is set to none selected. Any ticked property features in this area will flow through to your ResOnline booking form should you decide to implement this onto your website. The address area includes a map where you can manipulate exactly where the marker sits in case it is incorrect. However, it should automatically find the correct location in the map form for you. This address will also appear on the ResOnline booking form on your own website. Next along the top there we've got descriptions. So here is where you enter the descriptions of your property as well as some instructions for the guest regarding check-in, extra guests, and things to do. All information entered into these fields will display on your ResOnline booking form. The images area is where you can upload any photos of your property into your ResOnline account. These images will then be displayed on your booking form in a gallery type presentation. They will also appear in your rooms and rates section where you can select them to appear against a specific rate plan on your booking form. I will get into that a little further in the coming rooms and rates slide, so don't panic if you didn't understand what I was talking about just then. ResOnline fees is where you set up your direct debit for your ResOnline fees, should you wish to pay via that method, obviously. We've then got payment options. which refers to how you would like your guests to pay on your ResOnline booking form. So when making a booking via your direct website. For example, this is the area where you select which credit cards you accept and if you would like any surcharges applied to each. You can also link your ResOnline booking form up to PayPal via this area. That will mean that any guest making a reservation via your ResOnline booking form will have their credit card processed by PayPal then and there. Booking policies. So the booking policies section is where you set up your deposit information. So basically telling the system whether you want a guest to pay a deposit amount when making a booking via your ResOnline booking form, and if so, how much that deposit amount will be and whether it is a dollar or a percentage amount. So for example, you could set it up so that the booking form requests a 50% deposit at the time of booking or a $50 deposit. You can also stipulate your cancellation policies in this area as well, and there is an added free text field for any booking condition information you would like your guests to see before their booking is confirmed. These booking conditions will appear on your booking page after the guest has selected their room type and rate and clicked on the Book Now button. You can also add amendment fees if required, as well as supply your check-in and check-out times. And last but not least, in this area we have our security section, which will display your ResOnline account's username, password, and the email address associated with that particular account. There are instructions should you require your password to be changed that can be located in the security section also. Okay, so setting up our rooms and rates. Now this screenshot is a little bit fuzzy, so I apologise for that. This screen in the system is quite large, so it took a bit of fiddling around to get it to fit on that one slide so I could show you it in its entirety. This section is very important to get right the first time, so don't go rushing into setting this area up. Be sure to think about exactly how you want to sell your rooms and how you would like to have them set up on channels if you have not already got an account. As the ResOnline system connects to over 40 channels and their in-house systems, unfortunately, it is not possible for all of them to act in the exact same way. This is simply due to different systems and their different capabilities. The biggest issue we face is that quite a few of the channels in the distribution section are actually unable to read minimum night information from the monthly or yearly deals calendars, which I'll go through in more detail when we get to those slides. However, in ResOnline, you can actually set minimum nights based on day. So for example, you could set up one rate type called one-bedroom apartment. You could then manipulate that rate type to have a one-night minimum during low season and a three-night minimum during high season, all staying within that one rate plan. Saying this, some channel systems do not have this functionality and require that you create a different rate plan per minimum night restriction. So instead of having one rate plan and manipulating the minimum nights in a calendar format, they would need you to create separate rate plans. As you can see in my screenshot there, you would wind up with one rate plan per minimum night restriction. So one bedroom one night, one bedroom three night, and one bedroom five night. So basically the minimum nights set up on each of these rate plans would never change. If you were wanting to allow 5-night minimum only, you would simply add a stop cell to the 1- and 3-night rate plans to ensure they are not available. So only your 5-night rate plan will appear as a search result if a guest is looking for those dates. This just ensures that the system can marry up with every channel without any issues arising due to difference in connections and the information sent to each channel. So this is how we suggest every client sets up their ResOnline account and channel accounts from the get-go. Again, just ensuring a seamless connection. Okay, the distribution section is where you establish and maintain your connections to channels. It is crucial that this area is completed accurately, as the mapping in this area will determine what availability the system reduces and so on. So all mapping for each channel is completed by yourself via this area. Please keep in mind that ResOnline can connect to channels only. It cannot create accounts on those channels for you. So you must have an active account on each channel before a connection between the two systems can be established. Here you can see my mapping to Room Manager or BookEasy. All channels will appear in this format, so I'll use this one as an example. So when first entering the distribution section, all you will see is a list of the channels on the left. Roam Free and your website will already be active. So this happens automatically. All the other channels will be in blue and will say Connect, as you can see on the screen there. The white section to the right will contain the ResOnline logo, advising you to click on a channel to continue. Once done, you'll see an Accept and Connect button. After this has been clicked, the screen shown will appear. Up to the Fetch Rooms and Deactivate Connection buttons, the information below those will not appear until you complete the next step. So you've selected the channel you want to connect to, you've clicked on Accept and Connect. Now you will need to enter the information requested. This will be different per channel, but is usually the username, password, and sometimes property ID for your account with that channel. For example, with the above connection, I have entered my Room Manager credentials. I've clicked on Fetch Rooms, and ResOnline has logged into that channel and returned all my rate plans that I had listed on that channel and has displayed them on the left-hand side there. So it's found my 1-bedroom chalet 1 night, my 1-bedroom chalet 3 night, my 1-bedroom chalet 5 night, my 2-bedroom chalet 1 night, and my 3-bedroom chalet 1 night rate plans that I had set up on Room Manager or BookEasy. So entering my username and password has allowed our system, as in ResOnline, log into BookEasy, get that information, and list it here for you. So from there, you need to select the matching rate plan from within your ResOnline account. Now these will display on the right-hand side in those drop-down boxes. So you simply need to match up the rate plans to ensure rate and availability information is feeding through to the correct room. As you can see, this is why we advise that you try and set up your rate plans the same across all channels, as mapping will then be a breeze. Once you're happy with the mapping, click on Save Changes and the channel will automatically change from Connect to Active. ResOnline will then start sending updates to that channel. Unfortunately, it's not on this particular screenshot. However, all other channels do have a rate adjustment column also. It's usually situated to the left of that minimum nights column you can see there in the middle, and this allows you to enter, for example, 100% rate reduction or increase per channel. Most clients use this on their own website to ensure their rates are always cheapest when booking directly through the property. The more channels you're connected to, the more bookings you can expect to receive. We strongly suggest connecting up to as many as possible. As ResOnline has eliminated the risk of overbooking, there should be no reason to only have your property listed on only 1 or 2 websites. Okay, so we're here at the ResOnline booking form. Now this is an incredibly powerful tool that allows you to generate your very own bookings via your very own website. And this means, of course, no commission. This form can be manipulated to look and feel like your own website, mimicking its design and colour scheme. All the coding required by your web developer to implement this technology for you can be located within the Booking button section of your ResOnline account. You can also control a few of the defaults from within this area, such as the logo that appears at the top, the number of days displayed in the grid, and the number of nights that are ticked by default, and so on. Okay, so the screen you see here is your yearly deals calendar. Now this is a screen that you will be using on a daily basis, so an understanding of its functionality is essential. So starting at the very top, we have 3 tabs you can choose from. By default, this page will also appear on the single rate plan update page. Now this is where you can select one rate plan at a time and view its availability, rates, stop sells, inclusions and minimum nights for the next 2 years. The next one across is bulk update, which is where you can select multiple room types at a time and make amendments to the before mentioned areas. So your rates, availability, and so on. And finally, Channel Rate Override Report. This one is a very recent addition and will show you what channels you have applied stop sells to, as it is possible in ResOnline to add a stop sell to one particular channel only. Therefore, this stop sell will not display on the yearly dealers calendar in general. So the Channel Rate Override Report is where you would find which channels you have placed the stop sell on, if you've only done that for particular channels and not all of them. So getting back to the screen, we can see now, as mentioned, we are on the single rate plan update. This is most likely the screen you will be using the most. Now, just underneath our single rate plan update tab, we have our rate plan drop-down box. This is where you select the rate plan that you wish to view. The standard rates box you see next to it actually contains a list of all channels. You would only ever select a channel from this list if you are making changes to that channel only. Otherwise, simply leave it as standard rates to update all channels. Once you have selected the rate plan you wish to update, the grid below will appear. As you can see, this grid also has 5 tabs to choose from. Firstly, we have availability. This will always display when the grid is loaded by default. So anytime you enter the yearly deals section, the availability and select a rate plan, you'll be viewing the availability on the grid. So in the case of the screen, we can see it is displaying that I have 2 rooms available every day for the next 2 years. Now, should we select the next tab across, which is rates, the grid would then replace the values of availability with the values of your rates. So instead of seeing 2s in the boxes, you would see 180, for example. Should you select the stop sell tab, the grid will appear with either blank squares, meaning there is no stop sell, and squares containing big red crosses for those dates that you do have a stop sell placed on. So on to minimum nights, and again, the grid will reload to display the minimum night restrictions you have set up for each day. And then of course we have our room inclusions tab, where you enter any inclusions that your daily rates come with. This could be breakfast or bubbly on arrival or something of the sort. Now, making amendments in yearly deals is so easy. Once you get the hang of it, I'm sure you'll all be saving so much time. So say, for example, I've just received a booking over the phone for the 13th to the 18th of March. All I need to do is click on the 13th of March in the grid, drag my mouse over to the 18th. Now, any selection you make on the grid will turn blue. So my grid would now be displaying the 13th to the 18th of March as blue squares. I'll then move up to the Change Availability To field in the top right-hand corner there, and I would enter a 1. Not because I have sold 1 room, but because I now have 1 left. When entering new values, you are simply telling the square what number you want in it. It will not increase or decrease by the number you've entered into that field. It will just change the availability to that number. Now here's the best part. Rates, minimum nights, stop sells and inclusions all work the exact same way. So you select the dates you need to change, which will turn blue, and you add your new value into the Change Availability To field. In the instance of rates, it will say Change Rate To. In the instance of inclusions, it will say in the instance of inclusions, sorry, it would say Change Inclusions To. So it's all the same, and once you get the hang of it, you should be able to change all of that data fairly quickly. Now, what I do want to explain while I have you all here is the difference between stop sells and availability. Some of you may already be aware. However, for those of you who are not, availability is attached to the room type, while stop sells affect individual rate plans. Actually, I might just go back to the rooms and rates screen to better explain that to you. Okay, so here we have our rooms and rates screen. Now each room type you'll see has a blue dot to the left of it. So for my room types, I have 3 of them. I have a 1-bedroom chalet, a 2-bedroom chalet, and a 3-bedroom chalet. So my availability is attached to those 3 room types. So for example, under the 1-bedroom chalet, I've then created 3 rate plans that are attached to that room type. So I've got my 1-night minimum, my 3-night minimum, and my 5-night minimum rate plan. So because the availability is attached to the room type, should you receive a booking for your 1-bedroom chalet 3-night minimum, the availability will automatically drop for your 1-bedroom chalet 1-night and your 1-bedroom chalet 5-night minimum rate plans, because they are attached to the room type and the availability is attached to the room type. So that's why we've created stop sells. So basically a stop sell allows you to enforce a minimum night restriction without taking away the availability. So in this example, if I wanted to sell a 5-night minimum over my peak season, I would simply place a stop sell on my 1-night and my 3-night rate plans, which would mean they will return results as unavailable and only the 5-night rate plan will display as available. Okay, so monthly deals. So as well as yearly deals, we also have our monthly deals calendar. The functionality between the 2 areas is very similar, the main difference being that yearly deals will show you the data for the next 2 years, 1 rate plan at a time, whereas monthly deals will display all rate plans at once for the next month. So again, in this screen, we have our different views to select from. We have availability, which will be displayed by default. And then of course you have the option to switch to rates, minimum nights, or stop sells. Now with this screen, I decided to show you the rates view. As the availability is attached to the room type, the availability view will only display 1 line per room type, as all rate plans attached will reflect that same availability. Now you can make changes in here the exact same way we did in yearly deals. So by selecting the dates on the grid and entering the new value into the Change To field. Of course, remembering to save your changes once done. You can also view monthly deals per rate plan by clicking on the Single Rate Plan tab. Now this Single Rate Plan tab looks very similar to the What Ifs Edit Deals screen, for those of you who are familiar with that. Now the Reports section in ResOnline will keep a record of all bookings processed through your ResOnline system. You can view these by booking date, check-in date, reference number, or by channel. When first clicking on Reports, this is the screen that will appear. The bar graph depicts the reservations you are receiving per channel, so it gives you a quick look at what channels are performing best for you. From here, you can click on any of the daily reports options and you'll be taken to the reports screen where you can run all kinds of reporting based on your requirements. The results can be viewed on screen or can be exported to an Excel spreadsheet. A really good practice to get into, and I actually did this myself when working in reservations, is to pull a report every week, perhaps even daily in high season, and just cross-check that with reports from your channel's websites to ensure no bookings have been missed. Now this shouldn't take long for most of you as you have smaller properties. Unfortunately, I used to do it for a property with around 170 rooms, so it was a quite mundane and time-consuming task. However, as mentioned, it should be a quick and easy one for you guys that just makes sure you're not going to have any nasty surprises at your reception desk. Now ResOnline also allows you to extend your guests different kind of discounts and offers via your own website. There are a number of options you have available to you, such as pay stay deals. So for example, you could offer a guest a stay for 4, pay for 3 deal. You can also add percentage or dollar discounts to your nightly rates from this area, which will appear as a hot deal as such on your own booking form. As well as these, you can also create package deals. So you may want to include something like breakfast or dinner, maybe a romantic getaway package with a massage or something of the sort. So the special section is just another way of offering your potential and repeat guests more flexible options in terms of reserving a room. Now, the booking extras are a great feature that will allow you to sell extra products or services to your guests when they are making a booking. You can offer services such as airport transfers, daily breakfasts, or tours. The extra feature has been designed to allow you greater flexibility in how you wish to sell your products. So the extra options include a per booking extra, which would be, for example, a bottle of wine on arrival. A guest would only do that once per booking, so that would be a per booking extra. A per night extra, so for example, would be a fold-up bed or a roll-away bed, whichever you refer to it as. The guest would need that per night, so that would be a per night extra. So telling the system that just means the system calculates that to add the extra fee to every night of the booking. We've also got a per person extra, so for example, that could be breakfast, needs to be charged per person. And also a per quantity extra. So for example, dinner vouchers. You may sell 2 or 3 dinner vouchers to the same room. Now, extras will display on your booking form on your website. So after a guest searches for the dates they require, selects a room, and clicks on Book Now, a list of the extras you have available will appear where the guest can select the number of extras required. So at the very top of our extras page, we have what type of extra. The options in this drop-down box, as mentioned earlier, are per booking, per night, per person, and per quantity. We then enter a short description to advise the guest what the extra is, then a long description box to elaborate on the extra itself. We then need to enter an amount we wish to charge for the extra. There is also the option to allow particular extras to be booked with all room types and rate plans, or you can specify a particular room type or rate plan that the extra will only be available for. So for example, you may not allow a roll-away bed in your hotel rooms. However, you can have them in your one-bedroom apartments. So in this case, you would click on the Only for these room types button and select the room types that apply. The promotional code interface allows you to set up a discount to offer your guests when they enter a valid code into your booking form. A promotional code can be valid for all rates and specials or just the ones you choose. Once a guest enters in a valid promotional code, the discount will be applied and the particular rate plans highlighted. The discount will flow through to the booking page and any email correspondence sent to you and the guest. There are many ways you can use promotional codes to increase sales from your website. You can create an email campaign and motivate guests to book by providing them with a code to receive a discount. You could create a code so that your corporate clients receive their special discounts. You could create a past guest promotional code and provide to each guest as they check out. Or you could provide a promotional code to a travel agent so that they can take their commission and only pay you the net amount at the time of booking. Now, just a little tip, if you do want a promotional code to be valid for a specific period, we advise you to create a special first and then attach the code to that special. So the promotion area unfortunately doesn't have date validation area, so you can't set restrictions for dates in this area, as you can see on the screen there. However, you can set date restrictions in the specials area. So that's why we say create a special first. Then if you link the promotion code to that special, that promotion will have all of the restrictions that the special does. So firstly, we have our promotion code field, and this is where you enter the code that you want the guests to use on your booking form to access the promotion. So in this example, I have been incredibly creative and have called my promotion sale. Then we enter a description of the promotion. So in this example, the promotion code sale will give guests 20% off my daily rates. Then we select our promotion type. So options here include percentage discount, which I've used in our example. The other option is of course a dollar discount. Enter the value of the discount and tick whether you want it to be applied to all rate types and specials, or you can select the particular rooms or specials if it is limited. Now once saved, you can jump onto your website, open up your booking form and enter the promotional code you just created to see how it will display for your guests. Now on the home page of your ResOnline account, there is a support section that you are able to access. Should you click on the support icon from the home page, this screen will appear. From here, you can either send us an email support request or you can view the ResOnline Help Manual, which explains each area of your ResOnline account should you feel you need a bit more clarification on any given section. Now to log a support request via email, simply click on Next and an email inquiry form will appear. To view the Help Manual, click on the ResOnline Help Manual link you can see there in the blue bar across the top. Or of course, you can call our friendly support team on 07 5668 2540. Now, as well as the support section on the home page, there is also a video tutorials area. There are about 5 video tutorials that go for approximately 5 minutes each. And as you can see, we have one for the rooms and rates section, one for yearly deals, distribution, extras, and specials, should you feel you need a little more training. There are also recorded webinars that you're more than welcome to view. The one currently available to you is ResOnline Channel Manager, Achieving Best Results. This will basically go through the best practices for using your ResOnline account and how to get the most out of it. I strongly suggest viewing this once you are confident with the system to ensure you are using it to its maximum potential. Well, that pretty much wraps up our training session for today. Hopefully you now have a better understanding of ResOnline and will be able to use the system to your advantage. Thank you for your time today, and we look forward to speaking with you soon.